Hey, I'm Alex, I'm an archaeologist. This is Archaeomoto, and this is another Roman arch. What? Again? Okay, I have more for you. Stay tuned. I'm here at the ancient site of Glanum, close to the modern village of Saint-Rémy en Provence. This is possibly the last site I'll show you from the Provence region. I'm standing just in front of another Roman arch. If you haven't watched the video about the arch in Arauso, modern Orange, I'll link it to you in the description or here on the right. This arch is quite similar in its decoration, and this is why it's also dated in the 1st century AD after Christ. There are some similarities, but also some differences. So one main difference is for sure the architectural design. It's just one arch instead of three in Orange. It's a bit smaller, but nonetheless very interesting. So from the front we have 4 columns framing the entire arch. In between the columns there is one relief on each side. On top of the arch, it's difficult to see, there are actually 2 Victorias, so the goddess of the victory, and it's showing us again that the Romans want to show their victories over the barbarians, and this is also continued on the side of the left here, where we see a captured barbarian, possibly Victoria or the Roma. I don't even know. If you know, please let me know in the comments. On this side, it's a bit clearer because here we have a captured barbarian on the right, with his hands tied down at the back, and on the left a sitting goddess, which is possibly the personification of Gallia. So the defeated Gallia is represented here. The defeated Gallia sitting on the looted weapons of the galleys here, and then the captured barbarian. And now you can see that. We're just standing here outside of the ancient city of Glanum. Again, this is marking some sort of the street coming to Glanum. And the entrance, if you would enter here as a trader or as a visitor, if you were coming back home. On the other side, the motifs continue with captured barbarians, either masculine or feminine on the side. And again, this architectural composition of 4 3/4 columns, and then in between the 2 reliefs. On top again, we see 2 Victorias. The interesting thing is here, as we are walking towards the city, we see that the Victorias are carrying the Roman standards, the military standards. On the other side, they were carrying just palm branches and laureate hat thing. And just next to this arch is actually one of the best preserved Roman monuments we still have today. And that's the so-called Mausoleum of the Julii. So this mausoleum is really nice, preserved. I'd like to show you first the architecture, because it's actually structured into a base zone. Again, the base is raised before the cenotaph rises with its 4 reliefs on every side. So a cenotaph is when a soldier or someone official died far from home and they couldn't retrieve the actual corpse, but they still built the tomb monument. This is what they did here. We have this cenotaph with 4 different reliefs showing mythical scenes. On top of that, we have a tetrapylon, which is actually showing an arch just like the one we can see here on the right, but with 4 entrances. So we know some of these arches. One of those arches I know from Jordan, for instance, and also the Arc de Triomphe in Paris is one of those styles, even though it's not Roman. The arches here are framed by Corinthian columns, and then on top, on the arch shaft, we see a frieze of sea monsters. Just on top of it, there is a tolos, so this is the Roman style round, columned round temple. Again with Corinthian order capitals, and in the inside, they're hard to see from here, are actually 2 stages of togati, so of a Roman citizen. They're possibly the man who died and his son who built this monument for his father. Yeah, let's have a look at the actual relief scenes. So, as I told you, they are mythological. So from this side, you have directly a look at this here. Boar, excuse me, this boar, this is the Caledonian boar, which is like a mythological monster, hard to defeat. Just right next to Meleager, who is giving the boar just the last hit before it dies. And just on the horses here we see Pollux and Castor. Also 2 heroes and the rest of this hunting group trying to catch the Caledonian boar. And as we continue here, here is an entirely different scene where we don't actually know what it is depicting. Maybe even an historic battle or so. What we can see are some defeated soldiers here and also victorious soldiers. And the victory is also symbolized by, again, Victoria, the winged goddess here, carrying a tropaion. If you don't know what a tropaion is, again, I linked you the video to the Arch of Orange, where we have many of those and I explained it in more detail. On this side we have another battle. This is possibly a battle where the dead man to whom is dedicated this monument fought in, possibly. Maybe you have another idea, let me know in the comments. Here we see an horse battle, an actual horse battle, which is nicely made, how the horse just falls down here and the rider is falling to the ground. It's a really nicely made relief. And heading to the last side here, this is an actual scene of the Iliad. So what we see here is one naked body on the ground. And this is Patroclus, the nephew of Achille. He went into battle and with the Trojans and fell. And what we see here are Trojans and Greek soldiers fighting over the corpse of Patroclus, and all of those both of these two groups trying to retrieve the body of Patroclus. Yeah, that's a really nice monument. I hope you liked this video, and yeah, I've seen that many people are watching my videos actually, but only few are subscribers, so please subscribe and check out the other sites I'll be visiting in the next year. So during the next year, of course. Every week I will post one video of one archaeological site that I'll be visiting. So stay tuned and see you next time.